Welcome. You are at the CCC,
where there are no outside issues. My name is Jordan, and I'm always trying to make good choices.
I love that. And I'm LouiLou, or Lewis, and my pronouns are he and him. I'm recovering for crystal meth and alcohol, and I'm always in search of balance. And each week, we strive to foster a brave space where we can engage in conversations centered around topics of recovery.
Yes, and our intention is to hold and inspire better spaces for more people in recovery by taking issues used to separate us. Before we do that, please like, comment, share, subscribe to this episode.
Absolutely.
All 5 stars.
Buying a little time. Do. I know, this is...
That's because Anthony's not here to talk.
I know, exactly. Well, we... Yes, and now the disclaimer. The thoughts and opinions expressed on at the CCC are ours. We do not represent anyone but ourselves. In other words, we're just a couple of friends behind a mic here to entertain you. And of course, everything we talk about is for general information purposes only.
Exactly.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh my God. So if you noticed, Anthony is not here today, and that's why without his leadership and guidance, we struggled through the script.
We made it.
Did that sound genuine?
Yeah.
Then I
believed you. Yeah.
I did my job. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm good too. So everything's good. Yeah. Anthony's working on Anthony's lifing, and so
yeah, he's doing his postdoc.
He will be back. Not to worry. He will be back. Anyway, but we have some lovely guest co-hosts with us.
Yes, we do.
Do you guys want to fight over who's going to introduce themselves first?
Ladies first.
Thank you.
And you should get closer to the mic. Stop messing around.
This is as close as I get.
Oh.
Hey, I'm back. Leo. I was here like about a year ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah. There's still folks that are talking about your episode. They're like touched.
Yeah, I still have a few people that come up to me. Hey, I just saw your podcast. You know.
And Leo, what do you do at the CCC?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm the assistant manager.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, and then this lovely one across from me. Who the hell are you? Who you?
Hey. Well, my name is Troy B, and I'm a grateful recovering addict.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's me.
And aren't you on a board of some sort?
I just happen to be on the board of advisors for the Castro Country Club.
Ooh.
Newly appointed.
I love that.
Okay.
And I'm very proud of that.
Bringing that representation.
Yeah. We got the big leagues in here.
I know. It's like, and that's a very nice segue.
Ooh.
I thought I was going to be on camera, so I wore something real cute.
Oh, you did?
It starts.
I know it starts. Yeah, no. We
It's all good.
Obviously, Troy has not been listening.
I have not.
No, that's okay. It's like
He will now.
Well, bless your heart. It's like, he's going to be, when does this episode come out? That's exactly. Because we had Michael M. on there. He says, when is my episode coming out? And I'm all, you need to calm down. So, you just need to calm down. Anyway, the topic today is visibility matters, and we're focusing on queer BIPOC representation in recovery spaces. And this came about because I was talking to our executive director, Billy Lemon, and he was suggesting that, we do, maybe we have a conversation and we invite these two individuals. And also it's like, this is our Castro Country Club podcast. And so I'm starting to think we haven't taken advantage, or we haven't talked enough about the programs that are provided through the country club, mainly because initially, like, we have folks that listen everywhere, but it's like, it's nice to kind of talk about those things and let people know this is what we're doing. It's not just a country club where we're sipping mint juleps and
Definitely
playing
not
golf.
that.
So it's like, let's get started.
Yeah.
So let's talk about representation, why it matters for queer BIPOC folk to be seen. And what does that mean to you? What do you think about that when you came in? It's like, do you have any thoughts? I'm talking to you because I know you said you were tired. I want to say it.
It's been a rough 2 weeks. But for this first came up to me as a topic of discussion with this current administration and current affairs, political landscape going on, and there's like a actual, race war going on, and I wanted the CCC to do something for its BIPOC community that is being targeted right now. So that's.
I got you.
Yeah.
How about you?
What was the question?
What was the question?
I was so enthralled by that answer.
Well, no. Basically, like, we're talking about, like, what does it mean to you, like, when you come?
right.
Yeah.
So, I will say when I first came into recovery, it was really important for me. So when I was in rehab, that was the first inkling of what I thought like a meeting or recovery would look like. And, it was off the chain. Mm-hmm. It was like most of the people that were there had to be there, but it was very diverse. And, half the people were mandated to be there.
Oh, absolutely.
And people were, still coming down, and there were
some people were there just for a place to stay.
Some people were there just for a place to stay. So it wasn't until I came to the Castro Country Club that I walked in that room, and there were just like so many pretty people, and everybody looked like they had.
I was there waving at him. Huh? Hey, girl, hey.
In the back corner.
I'm getting to that. There were so many people that had their shit together, but it was like everybody in there was like white. Mm-hmm. And so I will say that the thing that made me stay was seeing Lewis, seeing Patrick, and seeing Stephen Henry. Uh-huh. Oh, I didn't mean to say a last name.
Girl, you spilled. Didn't we say? No, you spilled tea all over the place.
Oops.
I'm going to send her this episode. I'm all, girl, if you're wondering why everybody knows your shit.
But no, it was really important for me to see those faces because that's what made me stay. And that's what made me come back and feel like, okay, like there are some people that look like me in here. And of course, I grew to love all y'all. Absolutely. Everybody. But seeing those faces was really important for me because I don't know. It felt a little bit more like home. So yeah, that's why it's super important for me because.
And we're trying to condition Jordan. We want Jordan to talk more. So Jordan, it's like for you, how does it feel to see a bunch of other white people?
Well,
it feels like a Tuesday.
Oh my goodness.
No. It's like the same question.
Yeah. I mean, I do identify as a person of color. My mom is from El Salvador. My dad is very white. I am very white passing, and I recognize that. I recognize the privileges that come with that. But I think for me, I've been really getting involved in the BIPOC Tuesday night meeting, and it's been nice to just have a space where I can feel included when I was always too white for the Latin kids, and I was never white enough for the white kids, right? And so that displacement in myself, right? It's nice to have a space where I can do that and be and understand and have people say their stories, and I can resonate 100% because I grew up very Latin. I didn't really know my dad's side all that much, but my mom's one of 5. I grew up with all my tias and everybody's business. Like my aunts still live across the street from where my mom lives, right? Like, so all I have to say, I think it's helpful for me to have a place where I feel belonging when I never really had that growing up. I was always independent because I never fit in. And so being able to be accepted, right, and being able to fit in is always nice.
So thank you. I appreciate that. And it's lovely to hear your voice. Something, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the 4 of us, it's like we are able to kind of maneuver, kind of navigate these spaces in a way that maybe someone who's listening to this, it's not so easy. It's like I've always been in spaces where I may be one of, and so I've been able to kind of just exist and feel welcome, or at least feel like I belong there. And there are some folks that no matter what you say, like thinking about the country club and kind of what we're talking about, you can say everybody's welcome, but that doesn't always translate in energy, vibe, and the things that are offered. So it's like I'm hoping that we can be mindful and think be mindful and think about the individual who may be like, oh, I don't feel like I'm welcome because I don't see. Yeah.
You hit it on the nail. Like hearing something and feeling something are 2 totally different things. You can hear until the sun comes up. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you're welcome. But then like if you are invisible when you walk in the door.
Absolutely.
Or you walk through the whole building and nobody even says hello or gives you eye contact, when people are kikiing over here and people kikiing over there and back there, then, then it's not, we see you.
Yeah.
It's like tolerated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's very, saying one thing.
Yeah.
And what was I about to say? I just drew a blank. Sorry.
No, sorry. You said it was
Just making your actions match your words.
Exactly.
It's like everyone's welcome, but then you have to, take an extra step.
And something that I have to catch myself a lot. And so here's my Grace. I'm throwing that Grace out. I have to catch myself. I am usually in my own world and caught up in my self-centered self. Mm-hmm. And so I gravitate towards people that I know. Right. But I do have, I do make it a point, when I see people of color, I go towards them.
Yes.
Until you give me a reason not to, Daniel. See, no. Bless his heart. No, but
Wow.
no. There are some.
happened to Grace?
All jokes aside, there are some who, whether or not it's a defense mechanism or whatever, where they're to try to keep you at distance, and I try to respect that, but I also am thinking, you know what? I might not always be the nicest person, but I want to be a safe enough space for you.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
No,
and that problem is really bigger than the club. Because, and this is something I often talk about, just about San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
And, I, had to talk with my sponsor about it. I had to get to the point where I, had to apply the 4 agreements, and I had to not take things so personally. But when I'm walking down the street, and I see another brother, especially another gay brother, and I am going to give you acknowledgement. That's just, I'm from the Midwest. That's what we do. If we don't know you, you're still family.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And when I see folks coming up the street and I acknowledge them and I get stank eye or I get nothing, that really hurts my feelings.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I have to just be like, it is not you. That bitch don't love herself.
I can appreciate it.
Or they're just happen to be going through something that day and it has nothing to do with nothing.
That's the thing that's crazy with all of this that we're talking about. Is obviously there are some people who are just evil to the core or whatever, if you want to use that terminology or whatever. But there are some people who are just in their own world and we don't know what's going on.
Right.
And all we can do is do what we're doing right now.
Right.
Because what I know to be true after being a part of a lot of different committees or whatever, sometimes the reason why we don't get recognized is because we don't have the representation, just like having you on the board, having you work at the club. But having that voice there means, okay, you were going to bring that perspective. Yes. Now it's going to be your perspective. And there's so many other ways to think as a person of color or whatever. Right. So we're talking about barriers to visibility, tokenism and authentic inclusion, because that's something else. When they're all, we want you to represent us. I can't represent all black people. And I can't represent all gay people. And I can't represent all people named Lewis. Right. I can only represent all people who are amazing. No.
Keep coming back.
But the thing with tokenism is basically it's an idea that basically tells us is that there's one seat available for someone like me at your table, and that my competition for that seat is my own community. So and that is the most disastrous thing that could happen. To us.
How do we overcome that? Because I always joke with you, Troy. It's well, we can't all be together because we got to spread out so we can represent. I got to be in the north and he's got to be in the south. So we got somebody there, where or whatever.
We can't all be in the same corner. I usually call those blood clots.
What I usually always say is that instead of fighting for a seat at someone else's table, is we always got to build our own.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But we. In the cases where we have to be at someone else's table, I mean,
flip that table.
You prostitution whore. So go ahead.
What was it? I forget what I was saying.
But I think it goes back to what you were saying too, right? This is a bigger problem than just recovery, right?
Yes.
And I think I think we've been navigating a world, right, that wasn't necessarily built for us, and we're having to come into a smaller world, right, to seek refuge in a place that wasn't necessarily built for us either, right? Because we look at it, right, AA was developed and written by two old white men,
Yeah.
you know, and so
absolutely.
in my opinion, wasn't designed for everybody.
No, absolutely.
Until we came to the table, until we made our seat, till we made our table to be here.
Kick the door in.
And also what a reality is, you know, for those tokenism situations, like some people don't, sorry, just had to get close
We
to
want to
the
make sure we
microphone.
can hear you.
Some people don't, they fall into that colonialistic thing, like, you know, I'm going to do what I have to do to be at this table. So I'm going to, if I have to change my voice, if I have to change how I talk, if I have to change, like, I'm going to do what I have to do, and I'm going to make sure that I'm at the seat and nobody else at the seat because I'm trying to get ahead.
Fighting for white acceptance.
Yes.
Right.
And, you know, that makes me sad.
It does, yeah.
Because, like, you know, yes, I do have like a lot of white friends. I have a lot of Latino friends, Asian friends, but I am my authentic self wherever I am.
Yeah.
I am who I am at work. I am who I am in my love life. I am who I am in recovery. I don't have to be like, I mean, there's a little bit of code switching, but like,
No. It's like, you know, give yourself, okay, grace. Give yourself grace.
Right.
No, it's there. It's like we're all trying to be integrated or become our full selves or whatever, but there is some of that, and I think that's fear, that's trying to kind of, I mean, who doesn't want to be a part of?
Right.
Right.
You know?
I mean, you want to get in the door, but you also don't want to like completely flip who you are to stay in the door.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's code switching, or is it kind of nuanced? Because there's ways to kind of, you know.
It's nuanced because we're the only ones in the world that have to code switch.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And it's because we were made to believe that certain antics or certain behaviors that we pick up because of cultural norms in our communities are deemed unprofessional
No, absolutely.
or
Absolutely.
unmarketable
Right.
and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
Were you going to say something?
Well, yeah.
Jordan, every time he says something, I'm like, go ahead.
You guys have a lot more time than me, right? And I think as somebody newer in recovery, right, I'm still trying to figure out who I am, let alone my race, ethnicity, and how that plays into my day to day, how that plays into the rooms, right? And so to hear the confidence, right, and see the confidence from Louis a lot of the times, whether I like it or not, that like how do you?
You ain't got no choice.
Right.
You would avoid me.
How do you get to that spot, right? When you're still trying to figure out who I am, no longer like a active user, right? But who I am as a person, who I am as a person of color, and how do I stay confident in myself in that?
I was going to bring that up. Okay, so we're fortunate. It's not a secret that we're all doing the work, 12-step work, whatever that looks like to us.
Right.
And I think if you're listening and you're at a place based on what, you know, Jordan's question, that's understandable. Like wherever you are right now, that's where you're supposed to be. But it is important, like if you are trying to get to another place, there's work that needs to be done.
Right.
Whatever that looks like. It could be 12-step. It could be finding spirituality. It can be meditate. It can be any number of things. But I think that if you are not there, I'm always talking about awareness. The fact that you're thinking about it, the fact you're thinking about it is a very good thing.
Right.
And then you search out and you look for folks and activities and things that are going to help you to kind of get better. And if we can get honest, you know, if I've got fear, if I'm in doubt or shame or uncertainty, finding folks that I can talk about it, you know, so that I can have conversations, so that I can bring to the forefront. That's why prayer is beautiful. I believe that prayer is an opportunity to voice those things that are inside. I heard an amazing share said, don't. Oh, I wrote it down. I'm going to find it. In the meantime, I'm going to find it without, and I'm.
Also, I think too, like, how does us being queer and of color, right? It's just another layer, another intersectionality that plays into the world we have to navigate.
Well, okay, so I think it's really important to say that you don't have to figure out everything on the first day.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God.
Okay, let me tell you, it feels like that
Now, do you
so
know, like,
much.
Read your
Krylan
day.
said, talking it out instead of thinking it in.
Okay.
Talking it out instead of thinking it in. It doesn't, no matter who it is, if it's somebody that you trust, talk it out with them.
Yes.
Put it out there, or if you're in a place where you can't, write it down.
Right.
Write it
And
down.
definitely, like you said, like seek out, like if you see something in somebody that you want what they have, that's the one that you talk to.
Not their dick or their ass.
Yeah, not that.
We're looking at Jordan. George, you need to calm down.
You need to at least wait a year for that. But you look above the belt before
It's a
that.
suggestion.
It's just a suggestion. But
I waited a year and a half.
I did about that too.
I did a year and a half, but
When it was 7 months.
Well,
7 days.
Right.
well, so I'll say I waited. I tried it around 6-7 months, and then I realized
That's
This isn't for me
That's a
right now.
beautiful point. It's like, because there is the rule 20 or 36 or whatever. Like, you can try it, but I think sometimes because we're grown as men, we come in here adults or whatever. You don't want to, like, there are some things that I don't want to admit that I wasn't ready for
Right.
because of whatever stigma and all that good stuff. And the fact that you're able to say, okay, I tried it, but I'm good.
it's not time.
I'm okay.
I waited a year and a half, and when it was time, I came out like a bat out of hell.
Absolutely. This is not
He's still
what we're-
flying.
This is not the main topic, but what I want to say is like, our sex powers is God given. It's like, and when we don't abuse them, it can be a beautiful thing, and it can really enrich our lives. So I want to talk about creating inclusive spaces, and this is another reason why we have these two wonderful folks here. Because I think that. Let's talk about how meetings and groups can foster visibility and do it in a way that is that is authentic, that is kind of supportive in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a hard balance, right? Because I mean, like, I'm thinking of like Living Sober that just happened. That it's important to have the space for BIPOC meeting, to have the space to do that. But at what point is it turned to, like we're saying, tokenism, right? Oh, we have to have one now, right? Kind of feeling, or like this, I don't want to be at that meeting because it's the only one that's available. That makes sense.
Go ahead.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. So, it's a thin line. It's a thin line. At the same time, it's just like we want to be all united for one primary purpose, but the truth is, some people need different spaces or different environments,
Absolutely.
in order to, really connect or really speak their truth, and speak about their experiences without worrying about offending others. Oftentimes, too often, we get a chance to speak about our experience or about our truth, but then we have to go through this white edit, or we have to worry about tiptoeing around white fragility. And I see that in the meetings here. So BIPOC meeting and BIPOC spaces are like very important.
Oh, absolutely. And I think maybe in the situation, the conference, like, I think that's kind of unique. I think for me, the idea is like not just having one BIPOC meeting, but different types of BIPOC meetings.
I love that
like,
you said that.
if it's a literature BIPOC meeting, if it's a speaker discussion, and having it at different times, and because you get to, I think that's the deal. It's like, if we just have the one meeting, and if I hate the people who go to that meeting because it can happen, then that's tough.
Yeah. So you're saying having multiple touch points.
I also think you can even break down that BIPOC thing even more, because there are certain, groups of people that can only relate to that group of people because they have very, very, very specific experiences walking through life.
What do you mean? Can you elaborate?
Yeah.
Like
Example.
Black, like Asian,
Absolutely.
like trans, like Latino,
Yeah.
like Pacific Island, like, there's some people feel more comfortable talking about their complete experience with people that have almost that exact same experience.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I love the idea of BIPOC, but I also love the idea of breaking down the BIPOC too. Not to be like, segregated, but, sometimes we need a safe space within a safe space.
Absolutely,
You
absolutely.
know, and I'm not against any of that.
Yeah, I think that you can't go wrong if you identify all the different communities that you're a part of and you lean into them when you need to lean into them.
Different cultural
Yeah.
experiences, different
For sure.
you know, different ways of how people experience the disease and how they experience their recovery. And I think like when we break it down like that, it makes it easier for one person to get a specific connection towards whoever's speaking at the meeting or whoever's at the meeting.
Right.
Like, this person went through the same type of neighborhood I was in. They had the same type of family, the same type of cultural norms. So it becomes digestible, a lot more digestible.
Yeah, I guess that other question I have.
Ooh, this one with the questions. No.
For folks that don't live in San Francisco, right, who maybe don't have access to so many queer meetings, so many BIPOC meetings, so many,
Zoom.
right? But they still want the in person, right? They still want to find somebody to speak with in person around their community, right? What do we suggest?
Well, I think it's super important to acknowledge that there are many different intersections, you know, and maybe it's not that you are. I feel like getting support to begin with,
Right.
whatever that support looks like, showing up, because some of our allies, you know, actually, I'm gonna keep it real. There are some of our allies who are not BIPOC who have taught me,
Right. For sure.
and so I just have to find the balance. I mean, we're fortunate. We're really fortunate. Like even though we complain, because it's like we still don't have, like, you know, the white population. Where I'm thinking about being a black man in the city. It's like I can probably fit all the black guys in San Francisco in my apartment, my little studio.
Right.
You know, we'd be a little tight. Mama, you got to take off your clothes because it's crowded.
Oh, that's how you do it. That's how you get them. And you lock
Only because it's crowded. Nothing else.
right. And you lock all the doors, all the windows.
I ain't got no air conditioning.
So I was starting to bring this up because I wanted to give you guys like a prompt, but I got to pay them for information. So let's talk about building queer BIPOC centered recovery spaces, and specifically, like, we'll start with you, Troy, because you were talking about this thing that you got planned for the club.
Okay, so like I said before. Sorry.
That's okay. You're gonna be listening back to this, and it's like, there's gonna be all this silence, and we're gonna say, "Well, that's good, Troy. Thank you."
Oh my God. So once again, I like I said earlier, I just joined the Castro Country Club advisory board, and you know, before I get into the other stuff, it was like I was so honored when Billy asked me to join. Of course, I was scared because I had never really done anything like that. But of course, it's like when I do stuff, I dive head first.
Absolutely.
And
you dive head first.
you know what?
You can swim.
You need to get Christ in your life. That's what you need to do. Black Jesus.
But I wanted to make sure that, you know, the legacy, that my personal legacy that I had left mattered. And luckily I was able to have something on my heart that when I brought it up at a meeting, I'm like, look, I think that there needs to be some intentionality, because right now, from what I've talked to people, and you know, I work at PRC, and I've had conversations with people about the country club, and they're like, "Oh, isn't that like?" I mean, they thought it was literally like a white space, and they didn't know what the country club was. And then even the ones that did know, they didn't feel really super welcome there.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really important, and I'll just say technically, I've never ever felt that way.
Yeah.
At the club, I've always felt completely welcome, but not everybody had that experience.
Exactly.
So I wanted to make sure that at the very least that there was an intentionality for us to make Black and brown folks feel seen. And so I was completely relieved when Leo kind of like came in on that and was just like, we need to do that. And so I was all like, yes. And then actually the whole board was like, whatever you need, we got you.
They were like, yeah, this is good. We don't have to do this.
Well, I wouldn't want them to do it.
No,
I mean, like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it needs to come from us. And so we were just trying to figure out different things that we could do. And as you know, before I even joined the board, I had this group.
Hey.
I had this group. It was called Fabulous.
Fabulous.
I'm trying to think of what the name stood for. It stood for, do you remember, Louis?
I'll tell you in just a second. Keep talking.
And so it was basically a group of Black queer men in recovery that we got together and just fellowshipped. And we
Fellowship and brotherhood, upholding love, oneness, unity, and support.
And that's spelled out Fabulous. And so, we got together, we kiki. It was a kiki.
Had food. It was nice, yeah.
Food, so mostly soul food. And we literally it was like a loving, supportive, there was multi-generations of recovery and multi-generations of age where, there were lovely moments of how the younger folks asked us older folks how they dealt with this, that, and the other, whether it was life or recovery. So I'm like, I want to bring that spirit to the country club.
Absolutely.
Because we need that. That's where home is.
Exactly.
And so Leo and I were talking, thinking about like, what can we do? How can we do this? And does it need to be meetings? How is this going to look? And so one of the first things we thought was like, well, let's start with like some sort of gathering where we at least bring the folks together. And then at first we were like, is it just going to be all Black? Is it going to be this? And so we're like, let's just make it a BIPOC. Like I was saying, if you look like you're going to be picked up by ICE or beat down by the police, then you are welcome. You are welcome. But, we wanted to make it a fun event where we're having, some it's going to be a barbecue.
Hey,
I believe
is it going to be a barbecue?
catered barbecue.
Okay, because I was going to say it's going to be a barbecue or one of those weenie roasts. Because you know what, what they call a barbecue here ain't no barbecue.
No. It's going to be one of our board advisory members has a friend. She's a Black queer
nice.
Caribbean soul food small business.
Nice.
And so
representation.
We're giving back to small Black businesses. And we're going to have music and we're going to we haven't really mapped out everything that's going to happen, but just the fact that we got a date, we got a space, we got
What's
food.
that date again?
It's September the 22nd at the Country Club on the patio.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that I talked to Brandon to make sure this episode
From 3 to 6.
I'll make sure this
From 3 to
episode
6,
comes
yes.
out beforehand. So
Yes, from 3 to 6.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a brown paper bag test at the door, but
Not officially.
not officially, but
I'll be standing there.
but the idea is that it is BIPOC. It's what
the idea that it is for the BIPOC folks of recovery. That's men, women, them, they, everybody.
Okay.
Everybody. And so we just want to get together and be seen. And be seen having a good time.
I love that. I love that.
Cross cultural.
It's those kinds of things that really are going to kind of send a clearer message to individuals who don't feel like welcome.
And it's to remind others that we're here too.
Oh, absolutely.
We're part of the community.
To take the space that's ours.
Yes.
To take the space because it is. If you say welcome, we show up next week with some bags.
And the hope is that there won't be any fragility.
No,
why can't I go back?
I'm pretty much sure there will be. There will be to some degree. There will be. We're gonna handle it as it comes.
And we have to do it anyway.
And it's important that we do it. And this event will help us gauge on what direction we want to take with this.
So beyond that, because it sounds really good. Have you thought about other type things that?
I'm working with my sponsor on starting a Spanish speaking step study.
Okay.
For the Latino community, or for those that would prefer to do step work in Espanol.
No, right on. Okay.
And I'm myself am talking. Like, we also have a trans person on the board as well.
Okay.
And I would love to have something like this for the trans community as well.
Okay.
I mean, because they are here too, you know, and they are in the rooms, and we need for some of these young folks that are coming up to be able to be seen in the meetings at the club and feel comfortable and safe. And ultimately, we just want it to be a safe space where people can feel comfortable and thrive.
Right on.
And use the country club as a space that's not just for what they may perceive that it is, but it actually is like.
Oh, I liked how that was smooth.
Changing the perception of what people think the Castro Country Club is.
Because I mean, like, we're not going to change the name Country Club because the name Country Club,
It has such a rich history.
it has such a rich history, and we want to maybe change what that means.
So this is a nice way to kind of and
Land the plan.
and just focusing in on the hope and a sense of belonging, because I think that it's important. You know, if you don't know about recovery and you're listening or whatever, you know, they say the opposite of recovery is connection, and that's something that we work towards. And it's like we want to find as many ways to kind of connect with and help people to be successful in whatever they're trying to do, and this is one of the ways.
Exactly.
You-
So just to
go.
wrap up,
Yeah,
what's the name of the event? When and where is it?
The name of the event is CCC Invisibility. Not invisibility. CCC
visibility.
CCC Visibility. And that's not a capital T. That is TEA, as in sip it and drink it.
Ooh, all right
Okay?
now.
And so,
Okay.
again, that is Sunday, September 21st from 3 to 6 on the patio of the Castro Country Club.
And that's 4058 18th Street in the Castro.
And so please come out, be seen, fellowship.
Is there a charge?
No.
No.
No, okay. Look at that. It's like, I'm all hello. I'm there.
Yeah, it's an all free event.
Perfect.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Because
Okay.
we're not going to say, come on, black people, come to this, but you got to pay.
Ain't nobody gonna come.
Yeah, absolutely. I know exactly. We can charge you for the connection. So thank you so much for taking the time to be, to join us. I know that you both work really hard.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for allowing us this opportunity to talk about this. And, I'm really grateful personally, I'm so grateful for the Country Club because it did help save my life. And so many, everybody that I know that are my best friends, it had a part in saving their lives. And, I am thankful to the board for letting us just kind of like do whatever we want to do to make this happen.
Absolutely.
So that's super important to me and Leo and to them as well.
At the roast, somebody was saying is I basically just sit by and Anthony does the talk and I just keep saying absolutely. So every time I say absolutely, I'm all absolutely. This was amazing, and I really appreciate you all, and I appreciate you, Jordan, for speaking up. But I want,
Jordan.
I know,
Thank you.
right? You're a rock star. But I want everybody to know the
So
Castro.
white pass itself.
I know.
Token white boy.
I want everybody to know that the Castro Country Club is a safe and sober community center
Safe
for all
and
people,
sober.
and a refuge for the LGBTQ recovery community.
Yes, and we provide programs and services that help change lives by supporting personal growth.
Our vision is to reduce the suffering of addiction by connecting people to community, opportunity, and support.
And you can find more information, including all the ways to contact us, at www.castrocountryclub.org/podcast.
And you can check out new episodes every Monday when Brandon is not at Burning Man.
Right.
Brandon, we love you. We're not throwing you under the bus.
Yeah.
Are we going to do, is there a closing song?
Ready?
She's gonna sing.
We have a closing song, but we need you
out
to.
of the window.
No.
That was good times.
We,